So in this video we will be taking a detour entrance to the city center. For those of you who may have seen my previous videos, we will still walk past some familiar places such as the Westgate, but we will be walking through the River Store, through the Westgate Gardens, and then through to Westgate, and then we will walk also just by the city walls. I think in is it Pound Lane? Anyways, we'll check that when we get there. But yeah, part of the old city walls, and would come out through a part of the high street and then back to where we started. So kind of like a 360, but again through the Westgate Gardens and the River Store. So I will try to explain where I can, where I feel is necessary. So just, I guess, stay tuned and walk with me today. Just to point out that based on the weather forecast for today, as with most British weather, it might end up raining. We hope it doesn't, but I guess we'll keep our fingers crossed. We hope it doesn't. The water does feel relatively calm, so I guess it hasn't been too rainy yet. We'll see. Yes, if you are pedestrian, it's always worth looking out for these directions. It can be quite helpful. So we're going into the Westgate Park. That's some information. This does seem historic. What can we say about the boom? So it seems it was made by Stephen Portsmouth. Never heard of him. If you have, let us know down in the comments. In the past, you usually will find, people taking shelter in that, across that lawn there. But they're no longer there, so it means the council may have, gotten rid of them, I guess. The summer of 2024. We might walk through this area in some other season, so it's just worth keeping in mind because the scenery changes drastically as the seasons change. Thank you. The water seems quite clear. That's the children's park. Always remember in Canterbury, this is the River Stowe. It goes all the way through to Ashford, including this pathway, by the way, even though at some point it becomes unpaved. But the pathway does extend through to Ashford, goes through villages such as Charlton as well, which we will eventually take some walk to see its version there. But it's a good place to cycle through, or if you want an extended walk, it's a good place to walk. Obviously remember that within I think it's over 5 kilometers, so remember, if you walk in from Canterbury, you likely will have to walk back, unless you can get the bus. I don't think the bus services are that frequent to that side of Kent, but yeah, just be warned, I guess. So again, the views here do change drastically with the seasons. So don't be surprised if you came here in November and it looks totally different from this. One thing I will say though is that each season does have its charm. So you can always get the best out of any season, even the winter. Obviously it's nice down here in snow, but even when it's not snowing, you can't still that's formal. Would you call this a graffiti? No, because it's done by the city council, but it's just giving us some idea of the project around this place, you know, to keep it as, I guess, as green as it's possible. Another sign.
Lottie wants it. I don't want it.
So this is the Westgate garden. It does close when it's dark, I think for security reasons. But it's a good place to, you know, come pass the time.
Spruce up for the next time.
So as you'll soon see, we're right in the center of the city, even though it may not feel like it from here, but we are. Again, this place drastically changes depending on what time of the year you have.
Everyone just kind of went, yeah, this right.
This is a war memorial, but I can see a sign of, is that Italy? So this is Italy Star Association. It's a little memorial to that. Let's look at other sections of the garden. It's always relaxing down here. Unfortunately for us locals, we tend to, you know, walk past here in a hurry. Seems some event is taking place down here today, where you can buy paintings. Some art fair, I guess. We won't have the time to go through. So as you can see, we're beginning to approach the Westgate just in front. So this would have been part of the old city wall, but obviously stands alone today, which is the Tower House. More information. So this is bought by Stephen Williamson in 1886, and it was given to the city in 1936 by his grandson. So shows you information and the various owners of the property. So this would have been as old as the city walls, which was also built in the 1300s. So this is a plaque that tells us when the tower was donated to the city. Currently, I'm not sure what it's used for though. I think it might be for events like weddings and major ceremonies. But we'll give another shot of the building. Let's get. Yes, it's likely used for weddings and events. And now we have the gardens. Usually plagued a lot by tourists, for photo shoots. But so it's as you would expect with flower type garden. It will change depending on the time of the year, but for now this is what it looks like. That's the city, the Westgate. Again, built in the 1300s. Okay, yes. So one thing I need to point out is that if you visited the city and you wish to punt, That's to take the boat. Normally you wouldn't be able to book that right at the venue. You may have to book in advance online because as you can see today is fully booked. Huh?
Fully booked for the day.
And sorry, I'll just have to keep some video. Sorry, I just wanted to take a shot. So that's the Westgate. You might not realize it, but I'm right in the middle of the road, which is quite a little fast. We're not taking this entrance yet, so we will still take some other walk just straight ahead. But when it's quiet, this is a good vintage point too. Here you have a pub. I don't know if you're able to climb the top, but at least I haven't done that myself. So you can enjoy some food at the city's jail, the former jail, which I don't think is being used for that anymore. Just at the city you have the second Wetherspoons. There is one towards the east side, that's at the other side of the city, but you've also got one here, quite nice and cozy inside. So I'm going to take you through several portions of walks here. Again, these places do change drastically depending on the time of year. Here you can see the black clouds, so we are expecting some downpour. So I guess I better make haste. I'm just still taking you through the River Stowe. I don't think the pontoon is in this direction though, because we've got several. So you can actually walk into Canterbury from here. So these are all parts of the old city wall. So in a way the River Stowe did actually act as a kind of moat. Well, not surrounding the city, but at least, you know, shielding several sections, I guess. I think today these are all residential buildings. This might be a private garden. just to let us know. We're not going to spend too much time in the old town, but we will use this as a means of getting into the old city and exit as soon as. Besides, again, as you can see from the clouds, it's not the best of days, I guess. Just to put it out there though, I think the rain is only supposed to last for about 30 minutes and it's gonna be back to a sunny day. Typical British weather, eh? So we had walked through this in the other video, but today we are taking this side. So again, this would have been the outer perimeter of the city. Sorry, the inner perimeter of the city. But so just by the city wall, which the River Store did against the market. Whilst there is no through road here, there is a car park close by, so that's the reason you see cars zooming in and out. As you can see, we're walking towards the Westgate. I think it's still open to pedestrians. We'll see. So yes, I think I was right initially that this is Pound Lane. So the cars are not there. Let's have a lot of period feel. So that's the Martyr Theatre there, and that's the cathedral. And here we have a lot of properties that were part of the old city walls. Today used as residential apartments. So this is one of those cafes we were looking at there, and so we're just there. That's the Westgate. I'm going to take us to So we will have to walk through the car park and we'll be out from the other side so that we can get to. So it says the tower is named after the Archbishop Simon Sudbury, who partly financed the rebuilding of this section of the wall between Westgate and Northgate between 1380 and 1390. A rare survival of the medieval chalk block can be seen. So this one here. Here, the 100 Years' War with France, 1337 to 1453, was the main impetus for the construction of the city wall, which had by that time fallen into considerable disrepair. Work began around 1378 and continued until the end of the 15th century. So this is what I'm reading from. This must be a bit more modern. We're just gonna go through a Pound Lane car park. This is the other side of the city. I've never taken this section of the city before, so we'll get lost together, I guess, until I see something familiar. I'm sure I will end up in some sort of a familiar place, I guess. I want to believe there will be some through access through this street for pedestrian. I don't think there is for cars, at least you can see the sign there. But let's see, what about pedestrians? Oh yeah, there we are. This must be another church, which isn't in use, or at least it doesn't seem to be in use anymore. Oh, it is still not used. This church. It's a busy Saturday. So we're back to the high street. Again, we're not going to spend too much time here. Last time I didn't take us through this All Saints Lane. It's a dead end, but it's quite a nice street to wander. So this is a half timbered, obviously Tudor style building. Quite different from my session. It's not in black and white. That's my point. Sorry, yeah, it's a dead end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it has to be one of the most overlooked streets that connects to the high street. Please take note that I call it the high street because yes it is, but on the map it will read as St. George's Street.
tell me where to go.
She's a little girl's girl, you know, jewellery. Yeah, I didn't take the bus, but I live near.
This is a statue to Geoffrey Chaucer. This depicts the Canterbury Tales, an old English literature that actually does narrate the tales of people on the journey to visit the cathedral or to make a pilgrimage to the cathedral. This time as well, I mean, again we're pushing our luck, but let's see if we can have a brief look at the library. So it's not about several seconds in the lower floor. Some natural history. I have the grand staircase here. I think this has recently been renovated. The stairs I mean. These are likely old Roman artifacts. These are old Asian artifacts. So from the spare to the dress. Depiction of an old Asian ship. Tropical Asian house. I don't even know what that is. This is likely from Europe. Set bread, wood sword. likely a replica, I think. I don't know. So this depicts the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Again, and also this. And this. This is Geoffrey Chaucer himself. Things like that. This is a painting depicting the murder of Thomas Becket at the cathedral. This is a wooden sculpture dedicated to pilgrims making the tour. That is Geoffrey Chaucer's painting. That's an illustration of the Canterbury Tales. This must be another depiction of Thomas Becket. So it's this painting, basically, that's an engraving of it, and another engraving of it, of the same thing. This must be some old Roman pillars found in the city. That's an old painting of Canterbury, showing the cathedral. Quite lovely though. So again, these are old depictions of the city. Must be a retreating. Fordich Bridge. Okay, so this is Fordich. We will be visiting Fordich. It's a small town in Canterbury, one of the smallest towns in England. Let's make our way out in the hopes that it hasn't started raining yet. This just takes us on a journey. So actually it's from downstairs, so you make your way up, but it tells you the history of the city and the library, also the museum. I didn't also mention, but the museum is also the city's library. So down there is the library we're not visiting. So let's make our way out. I know I have another footage, but yeah, let's just take another. Alright.
2 o'clock, and get off at Wilson.
Olha lá, 1958.
This is an old brewery, and this is the Foundry pub. Really nice in there. The make nice beers, and you can also have coffee and other types of drinks, I guess.
Right, so what's happening? So you're going to the cathedral, right?
So it's quite busy here, but eventually we will.
And I'm so tired of my Actually, nothing. But anyway, I think. I think.
These windows give a bit of a French vibe. This is an old car park, no longer in use, but we still have some nice period houses there. Yeah, so last time we did have a quick glance at St. Mildred's. Let's see if we can look at it a little bit more this time. So that's this is St. Mary's Court, and this is St. Mildred's Church. I don't think it is open currently, but it's still functional. You can see that's the program there. This is some part of the court, which I'm sure houses people related to the functioning of the parish church. Don't think it's open. Okay, so we're almost at the end of today's tour. I hope you've enjoyed going through some parts of the city with me. And yes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Obviously it's not just going to be Canterbury, but I do feel there is much to take from the city, but eventually we will, touch on other places. So please stay tuned. Just down there at scaffolding is the Norman Castle, just there. Right. So that's the castle, but it's not really, it's in ruins, and I think it's actually even dangerous to explore. So that's why it's been kind of renovated. So yes. So thank you all for watching today, and I I will catch you in subsequent videos.